All right, so we have been working on some back takes and such from this position. So what we're going to move on to now is for the next couple of weeks or so, is we're going to look at some attacks from this position rather than taking the back and then making our attack work. So today we're going to particularly focus around nogi style chokes. So we're not having to put our hand inside the gi to hit any of these chokes. We're going to look at Anaconda and Darce choke are the two that we're going to specifically look at. So first one, we've made our way into this front headlock position here. For that Anaconda, so Darce and Anaconda basically go separate, different ways. Anaconda, my arm enters in from the shoulder side and hand comes out on the armpit. For the Darce, my arm enters in at the armpit and comes out at the shoulder. So really similar arm position, just how deep we're going either way depends on which one we're going to be hitting. So for that Anaconda, I've slightly changed the way that I set this up. Used to put this arm all the way through here, and then I used to lock up my Anaconda in this position. The problem with that is that we don't have a lot of control over this arm. So particularly someone like Jack, who's got really good base, if he puts his elbow out, when I try to go for the roll, I haven't broken anything down on this side, it's going to be difficult to make that roll happen. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to put the arm through and we're going to connect the hands together like in this gable style grip. Come down to the elbow and we're going to break that base away. So we're going to pull the elbow in. When we go for the gator roll position, I want to take my head off of the back and bring it down to the side. Because if I leave it on the back, I will still make the roll, but I'm going to crush my head on the way through. So we don't want to do that. So we make the connection, but I'm not going to lose that connection. Head comes down to the side, and we're going to roll through. So I want to try to make sure that I keep my chest on the back of his head, because when I start to walk forwards, that compression is going to help with the choke. From this position, I'm going to reach this arm through, slide my arm up, my hand to my bicep, and then I'm going to bring the hand up nice. So we don't want it down here by the belt. We want to pull it up tight so it comes up towards the top of the lat. Then I'm going to start walking toward my partner's legs, squeeze the choke, and get the finish. Beautiful. That's exactly the reaction I'm looking for. Good. So, again here, we're in this front headlock. In this front headlock position, we always want to be managing where the head is. If he's able to have his head free, he's going to be able to sit through, sit out, he's going to be able to move himself in that position. So whether we're controlling the head with our hand, or whether we're controlling it with our body, we want to be over the top of the head. Arm is going to go through, whichever one is your preferred. I'm right-handed, I prefer the strength in that right hand, so the right hand's going to go through. Depending on how stumpy your arms are, we're going to maybe need to take the ear down to the... If you've got longer arms, you're probably not going to have to get the ear in the right position. But if you've got stumpier arms, you're going to have to put the ear down so you've got a little bit of extra length to the arm. Connect the hands, take the base away. Then remember, so we don't get our head squished, head's going to come down to the side. And we're going to roll through. Then, keeping this arm in tight, we're going to shoot, lock, pull the arm in behind. We're going to start walking towards. We can also look to bring our leg over the top of the arm, to squeeze it in to make that choke extra tight. But if we just take our legs towards their legs and start to squeeze, go super, super tight, Anaconda choke. Alright? So let's see if we can set it up, shoulder to armpit, connect for the gable grip, break down the base, make the roll, tighten up the choke and finish. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Lovely. Right. So the second one of this little chain that we have from this position is going to be the Darce choke. Probably the two most common ones from that position, barring maybe the guillotine as well. So from the front headlock position, we've already talked about for the Anaconda, I'm going arm from shoulder and I'm reaching through to the armpit. For the Darce, it'll be the opposite way round. So I'm going to take my arm from the armpit, reach through to the shoulder. Again, particularly if you've got little short arms, you might need to put the ear down to the back so we can reach through far enough. Either, because I'm going to show you two variations, either I need to adjust myself to get myself locked into this Darce choke. So I'm not going to just finish it by putting it in position here. I either need to adjust myself or I need to adjust him. So let's look at adjusting him first. So I reach through, again, I'm going to get this like gable grip. I'm going to get like this necktie on my partner's head. I'm going to start driving his chin into his chest. As I start to drive his chin in, I'm going to drive him over to the floor, and we're going to try to miss the microphone. So in this position, I've got his arm in the same sort of place, in that I want his shoulder to be sitting against his neck, and I've got my blade of my arm sitting against the other side of the neck. I want to break him down a little bit. So I want to pull his head in, shoot my arm through, make sure that I don't allow him to like open up his head like this. So break him down, lock up, and again we're going to come up high onto the tricep, onto the lat, sorry. Few different ways you can finish this. Like you'll see a variety of different ways. Some people like to like sprawl down, some people like to step over into mount. I particularly just like to stay over the top of the head, sprawl my weight, and then pull my elbow like up. So squeezing my elbows together up against the neck. So I just like to sprawl through the back of his arm, but there's a variety of different ways. If you know others, you can try them. If not, then just try my way. So from the front headlock, spin round to the side, shoot through, connect the hands. Start to break down the head, drive my shoulder in, and drop my partner down. Then, shoot the arm, break the head in, lock onto your own bicep up to the top of the lat, sprawl the weight, and push up through for the finish. Second variation on that. Let's say I get to here, and this guy's just too strong on his base. Finding it difficult to break him down, this arm's in the way, I'm trying to throw him over, he's just not allowing it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a sit out for myself. So I'm going to take my leg, sit through, drive my arm up, and I'm going to lock my Darce in from the bottom. Lock it in, and then start walking my feet around, squeeze, and into the finish. So one more time. Spin round. I've tried to do my first one, break him down to the floor, it's not working out. So I'm going to shoot my leg towards his head, lay myself down on the side, make sure my arm goes through and I don't allow this arm to come free. Keep my body nice and close to his arm. To the bicep, to his lat, walk my legs, squeeze and finish. So two different variations of basically the same choke. Number one, if I can break his base down. Number two, if I can't because he's too strong. 1, 2, 3, let's go.